Yeah, welcome to the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Reviews and reactions. Let's go. It's the Brown Boy Wonder. Hold it down, representing for the culture. Every episode brings you closer into the mind and the heart of a hustler, where the truth and the groove collide. Stay tuned in, come enjoy the ride. Keep it authentic like that, never hold back. It's the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. The Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Subscribe, share, and stay tuned in. The vibe's always on.
This is the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast.
Welcome to the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. It's time for the light to hit the sky because my guest and I are going to rewatch and talk about the Batman, the animated series. I would say everyone's favorite character is Batman, so that's why we're all here. But let me introduce my guest here. My first guest, he is from my Power Rangers in Space rewatch. And he is also known as Vengeance. It is Anthony. Anthony, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Abrar. I'm hanging on to this blimp for dear life. God help me. But I am Vengeance. I am the Knight. I'm happy to be here.
Fantastic. And my second guest, he is known as the Dark Knight, and he was in my Avatar rewatch and many other rewatches as well. It is Skyler. Skyler, man, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I thought about yelling Rachel, but that's really obnoxious, so I'm not going to do it.
Oh, that's okay. And of course, my last guest, he is known as the Cape Crusader, and he's also part of my Survivor rewatch. It is Daniel. Daniel, how are you doing today, man?
I think it's time for a blind side.
Whoa.
What does that mean? All right.
I'm taking over.
Whoa. Take it easy. But we're
Bro, I got the
talking
votes
about
on my side to get you off the island.
What? Oh yeah, that's true. Call me Jeff Probst. But no, we're not. We are talking about Batman the Animated Series. A great show, but let's get right into it. Of course, it's developed by Bruce Timm and Eric Rodmowski. It is aired from 1992 to 1997. There are 3 seasons. Since the series is not your normal show when it comes to episodes having different air dates and production dates, so we decided to go off how we feel how the show should flow. So on the bio, there's you should see this full schedule, and we're gonna go from there.
We're watching it chronologically as the episodes unfold as a story. If you watch them by their release, it jumps around a bit. But there's many places to find the chronological list.
Yes, but I will put that scheduled in the bio. But I have a question for you guys. Are we going to see this version of the Batman on the big screen, live action?
Live action? What does that mean?
Yeah, this particular Batman, like how his character is, how we loved him.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say we have seen this Batman on the big screen. It's called Mask of the Phantasm. It's a great film, but in terms of character and lore and all those things, I would hope someday that we get a Batman somewhere within the tone and realm of this character. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not going to expect it anytime soon, but I think that this version of the character is a really, really good one that balances everything about it really well. So who knows? But for what this is worth, I think it works within its own right. Live action, I don't know.
I don't think in a live action movie we'll ever see this Bruce Wayne, because this shows Bruce Wayne as a silly little goofball.
A little clumsy.
But as far as seeing, I guess that's what, as a fan of Batman, that's what I've always wanted on big screen in a major motion picture franchise, I guess, to see a Batman like this unfolds kind of from more or less start. Some cops don't trust him and then keep going to the finish. He's got this big bat family at the end.
Yeah.
I've always kind of wanted that. We've never really gotten that. And I feel like upcoming in the DCU, we're going to just jump right into him already having a bat family, it seems like. And I don't know how much of a bat family the Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman, is going to build. So I don't, it'll be a while, I think, before we see, like, on the level of this to the live action big screen. But hey, we're just getting a lot of Batman, and that's cool, right? So I'll take it.
I love it.
He be Batman.
Be like Batman. But yeah, we're gonna cover episode 1 to 5 here. What is this? Wait a minute.
Oh god. What
is this? I am getting a message. I'm getting a message from it's called
Beyond
the
the
Bat. It says the Bat Cave. All right.
Message from the Bat Cave where Batman lives and works.
I guess so. Look, I got videos from outer space and
That's
hell.
true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that did happen. I was there for that one.
Yeah,
Whoa.
doing the Conjuring. But now the Bat Cave. All right, let me download this real quick, guys. I apologize for this inconvenience.
Now, Anthony, while he does that,
Okay.
what could this possibly be?
Well, I mean, there's only so many people in the Batcave, not to mention alive.
Yeah, alive, potentially on Cameo.
Right. I
Fair.
honestly don't know.
That Abrar can afford.
It would have to pertain to the episodes that we're watching, right? So it had to be within the realm of spoiler alerts, Joker, Scarecrow, Commissioner Gordon, Harvey Bullock. I don't know. So I guess we'll find out.
You get a cameo from the guy that voices Bullock.
I can't speculate because I have already seen this.
Oh no. Brock couldn't even keep the secret from all of us?
He couldn't. He
Why do
needed
you
to
only
vent.
share this with some of us? I don't understand. Why do you
He's
do
a-
this sometimes? Why is it
he's
sometimes
an
that we
evil-
come into one of these calls and then you're like, oh yeah, so-and-so's already seen it? What is that?
Evil
Yeah.
little man.
He showed it to me, I think, the day he got it, and he was so excited. He kicked his feet up. And he was twisting his hair around his finger, and he was like, "Ooh, look what I got!"
I just downloaded the video.
God.
Let's watch it on count of 3. Okay, guys?
Okay,
In 3,
yeah.
2, 1, go.
Hello, my friends. I have a feeling you may know who I am, but for the sake
No,
of being
sir, I have
formal,
no idea who you are.
allow me to introduce myself. I'm Batman. And I've decided to take a little bit of time off of crime fighting to send a special video message to Skyler, Daniel, Anthony, and Abrar. I heard that you fine folks are doing a podcast, but not just any podcast, a Rewatch podcast,
Just 4 minutes long.
but not just any Rewatch podcast.
Says, yeah.
You are going to be watching Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Good choice, my friends. I really like hearing that. I must say I appreciate it. You've got good taste.
Thank you.
I appreciate the brand representation.
Wow.
Out of
the
all
music
of
in
the
the background.
iterations
Batman very much cares about his
that
brand.
artists, film studios, directors, and actors have done
Did he put
on my
motivational
life
music in the background?
and my escapades,
Yeah.
It's just the
Batman
ambient noise
the
of
Animated
Batcave. Don't worry
Series
about it.
Oh.
is actually the most faithful. It's actually the closest, and it's actually my favorite one.
Oh.
It's also
This is like the real guy.
got
This
the
is just
legendary
really Batman.
Kevin Conroy
Yeah. Who did you think? it
doing
was?
my voice
I don't know. I thought it was one of the actors.
He
but no,
studied
it's actually
me.
him.
Yeah,
for a
that's
long
real
time. I met him. I actually took him on some of my adventures.
Whoa!
And he actually got a very, very good indication of how to characterize me. But he also put his own spin on it and made it his own.
Wow.
He's a legend, just like the rest of the cast. So to everybody out there,
it's only half over.
I need you to make sure you tune in to the Brown Boy Wonder podcast. They're going to be doing a fantastic job. They're going to be critiquing. They're going to be enjoying.
You don't know that, sir. You don't know. We'll
and I hope you enjoy with them.
The critiquing.
So with that being said, Skyler, Daniel, Abrar, Anthony.
Look, I know he's the good guy. I'm still
I appreciate what you're doing.
My name.
Thank you so much. So does the Justice League, and so does the Bat Family.
Whoa!
Because we're all one and the same, and we all would like to invite the four of you to someday join us, either on the Justice League or the Bat Family. Your choice. All you have to do is shine the bat signal in the sky. I will answer the call. We can get a fist bump. We can get some handshakes. We can get some high fives. And maybe all of you can come on some adventures with us.
Oh my god.
Until that time comes, again, I appreciate what you're doing. And I need everybody to tune in to the Brown Boy Wonder podcast.
God, yes.
It is the definitive podcast on Batman the Animated Series.
Whoa.
So to all the listeners and everybody out there, this is where you want to go. Because I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. And this is the Brown Boy Wonder podcast. Enjoy.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Batman.
Kind of is ruined by the last second there, huh? Where the logo pops up and says,
What?
Wait. Whoa.
What are you talking about? No. Hold on. No.
Wait a minute.
Is that a disguise, you think? Is he?
No, that's Batman and Spider-Man. I think that's
he has to put that there so that they don't think it's really
plausible
him,
deniability.
But it is really him.
Is Spider-Man a Batman impersonator? Did we just talk to Spider-Man?
Or is Batman a Spider-Man impersonator?
I have too many thoughts.
I mean, he was in the Batcave, so he has to.
He was in the Batcave, and he gestured to the Bat Family and Justice League. I mean, I can't wait to choose which one I'm going to be in. I mean, I can't decide.
I am not joining the Justice League. I don't trust space. I don't want to go to the Watchtower. I hear sometimes people go to space and then they get stuck up there for like 8 months.
Yeah.
But the Watchtower's cool, dude. I'd hang out there forever.
Yeah, but
they have a database.
There's a lot of really cool people up there, but then you also have to imagine, like, for every cool person, there is still a couple of really weird ones.
You name me one member of the Bat Family that hasn't had something horrific happen to them.
Bat Cow.
R.I.P. Okay. R.I.P. Bat Cow.
Well, thank you, Batman. That was a great message. We will do it justice for you, man. For you, Batman. We'll do it for you.
Hell yeah.
All right. You got anything else to say, Skyler? You said you had a lot of things in your mind. At first I thought, who is this guy? Because I was like, who could it be? Who did the Abrar get? And I was like, oh, it's just some guy dressed up as Batman. But the more he spoke, the more I'm pretty sure that was Batman. And
that was him.
I don't know why he was wearing the Nolan suit, but
yes,
I guess that's just. Well, the Chris Nolan movies are the most grounded, realistic ones, so it would make sense that those movies capture the real life Batsuit the closest. So maybe
that's just how we perceive him, right? Like maybe it's just like how our human minds can perceive Batman is in whatever suit that can make the most sense to us.
If we depicted with our minds and our eyes and our brains a real biblically accurate Batman, we wouldn't be able to survive it. So that's just what it translates to.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Fantastic, guys. Well, let's get into it. Well, before we get into it,
there's more.
No. We have. I just want to say we have an incredible intro.
Here's a second cameo. This one's 7 minutes.
It's from the Joker.
No. I just want to say we have an incredible intro to any children's show. Shout out to Danny Elfman.
Well, wait a minute. You might want to just say Danny
you
Phantom
almost
on
said
that
Danny
one.
Phantom like 4 times.
Yes.
And I'm not sure why your brain did that.
Danny Elfman for the intro music and Shirley Walker for the music for each episode. So shout out to them.
Yes, I mean,
Shout out.
this the show has fantastic music. There's an episode that we will be talking about on this particular podcast, this episode of the podcast, that the music made me laugh every time it kicked in.
The music gets funky. There's an episode that it goes wild with the music. I don't know what was going on. Shirley Walker was going crazy.
Well, let's get into here. Episode 1 on Leather Wings. A police blimp is flying over Gotham City. A blimp goes across the red screen. Then the pilots see something that looks like bat wings flying past the cockpit window. The blimp rises above the clouds, but they see nothing. We flash to the skyline of Gotham and see a shadow of a giant bat creature flying past across the buildings. The scene changes to outside of the Phoenix Pharmaceuticals. Inside, a guard is patrolling and making a demo tape for a radio ad on a micro cassette recorder. I would say that guy has a good voice.
Yeah, he's having a good time just talking to himself.
He should be. Yeah.
One of these pilots is just Kevin Conroy.
so one of the pilots is Kevin Conroy, and one of them is voiced by the actor playing Alfred, who the Alfred in these episodes, as far as I'm aware, is a different Alfred than what we'll have. A different actor for the first 3 or so episodes. So yeah, we have our it's the thing with voice acting in cartoons, which you guys have probably talking about stuff like Avatar: Last Airbender. If you need someone to record a few lines, you just pull whoever's working that day into the booth and you say talk, and you get this immediately. We hear Kevin Conroy before we hear him as Batman.
Yeah,
that's kind of
that's really funny. It stands out. It may have been a thing. This is just conjecture, but with the Alfred thing, because he's not really in these first 3 episodes that we watch. Very very little, and so it seems like maybe we don't know who we're gonna get yet. So just don't get anybody on the regular payroll yet.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
I mean, it happens a lot even with live action TV shows where sometimes the pilot will just have usually not major characters, but secondary and tertiary characters who they'll show up in episode 3 and just be a different dude. And you're like, oh, okay.
Or someone shows up,
don't work out.
Someone shows up early on and then just go up the set of stairs and never come back down. They just disappear and never in the show again.
Is that what happened to the one daughter in the Cosby Show? Didn't she just disappear one episode?
It's a Happy Days reference.
It was specifically that was a Happy Days reference.
Yeah.
But yeah, there may have been a forgotten kid in the Cosby Show as well.
I could swear there was, but I may be thinking Happy Days.
Maybe thinking of Fresh Prince.
I'm not thinking Fresh Prince.
Oh, okay.
No, she switched actresses. That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got War Machined.
Oh, yes.
I'm your aunt. Deal with it.
Yeah.
He hears a crash and goes to investigate. At first, he sees nothing, but then a shadow of a giant bat passes him over. The guard is attacked by the creature and drops his recorder under the desk. Important. The guard tosses a chair through the window, and then the bat picks him up and tosses him out into the river. God damn.
Yeah.
He's supposed to die. I mean, at this point,
He landed in the river. He's okay.
What if he can't swim?
So we won't be seeing people getting axed off or shot in the head in this show, but it also doesn't pull its punches from just baseline violence. Getting thrown through a window for a kid show in the 90s, that's wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The next day, Commissioner Gordon meets with Mayor Hamilton Hill and the District Attorney Harvey Dent to discuss a police raid to capture the Batman. Detective Harvey Bullock asks Hill for permission to form a tactical squad, but Gordon already denied it. Hill granted the strike force, reminding Gordon that Bullock has a reputation for catching his man. Ooh.
I love Bullock.
Yeah,
Bullock is one of my favorite side Batman characters in this show, particularly. And I hope so. You know how James Gunn's DCU is like they're like we're gonna do everything right this time. Look, we got Jimmy Olsen. He's in a little sweater vest. So we're gonna put him in the movie. Do that for Bullock and Batman, please. I beg of you.
You know what else is a really good version of Bullock, and you're not going to believe me on this one.
I know what you're going to say.
Ass. The show is ass.
I refuse to watch it, but I know what you're going to say.
It's the Bullock from Gotham. He's actually? I mean, the writing is sometimes pretty bad for him, but he's really good.
We're not talking about that Bullock. I mean, the Bullock is a good example of like I was amazed that Harvey Bullock was not just a reoccurring character from now on after Batman the Animated Series. Like you're right, this whole scene is a really good way to introduce a bunch of characters and a bunch of like concepts right off the bat. Like we get exactly who Gordon is and how he's sort of playing the middleman, trying to walk that fine line between Batman and like the police who are just so eager to get this guy. We get to see the mayor. We get a glimpse at Harvey Dent. Like,
oh, how cool is he?
This is a
fantastic.
It's great. Yeah. So it does a lot right already, right off the bat.
Believing, Dent promises to put Batman in jail if Bullock catches him. Believing he's been set up, Batman investigates and finds out that there were 2 similar robberies at the pharmaceutical companies. Batman made a funny joke to Alfred when Alfred asked if he was tossing guards out of the window. Batman says, "I only toss butlers, Alfred." I like that scene.
Violent to Alfred.
That's good.
Batman's got jokes. I mean, we'll see it in these next few episodes, but I like a Batman that can have a little levity. You know, he cracks a smirk every now and then. He's got jokes. He's not an emotionless brick like sometimes Batman is portrayed as. And this Batman's got charm.
And as we'll see often, he loves a good moment of poetic justice.
Oh yeah.
He'll if you were spreading fear toxin around, he'll spray that in your face and stand over you and just laugh at you.
We get a scene of him getting into the Batmobile. Thoughts on this Batmobile?
Perfect.
It is. There's nothing much you can say. There's no cons.
I think it's definitively my Batmobile.
Favorite. Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's other good ones, but this is my Batmobile.
It's sleek.
It's good. It's a good sort of interpretation of what like the Burton introduced this stuff. Like that Batmobile in the 1989 film, a lot of BTAS is influenced by what the Burton films did, just because Warner Brothers is like, hey, we need a Batman that's based on this, please, and thank you. So, but it does its own thing, and it's unique, and it's like you said, it's sleek, it's modern and retro at the same time. It does a lot right.
Yeah, Batman takes place like not in distant future, but it's like timeless. You don't know if it's like back.
Yeah, it's very purposely in its own time where it's kind of like it's neo retro. You know, it's very old, like Art Deco type buildings, but also certain futuristic aspects to that, especially later. I think eventually we start using like some laser guns. In some places.
It's like technologically it's very far in the future, but aesthetically it's in like the 50s, maybe even the 40s.
The 30s. More so.
30s. Batman infiltrates the Phoenix Pharmaceuticals, alarming 2 employees who were smooching, and who called the police. Batman gasses the police guard unconscious and crosses the police line into the scene of the crime.
As far as a first episode goes, ticking all the boxes, this does a fantastic job. He's using a bunch of gadgets. We see his car, we see the Batcave, we get a feel for like how he works with Gordon.
It's good.
Great.
Good for first episode.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even the first.
It wasn't, we made it to the first.
Yeah, there you go.
Bullock receives the call from the dispatch and then calls his special task force to convene on the building. While the task force scrambles to his location, Batman sprays the room down to search for clues. As Batman does, he locates a set of footprints belonging to last night's guard and then finds the micro cassette recorder underneath the desk. I would say Batman looked like the mutants from The Dark Knight Returns, where he wore the gadget above his eyes or around his eyes. It's like a laser line. You remind me of that.
Yeah. It's from his mentor, Cyclops.
Yes, man, yes. Oh, imagine he was on the show. Ooh, that'd be good.
Imagine if he was in this show.
Yeah, imagine dragons. He takes pictures of a shattered jar and examines some sort of hair, but is interrupted by the arrival of the task force. Bullock sends his men to the building just as Gordon arrives. Bullock is sure that they'll catch the Batman, but Gordon says there's another pharmaceutical company that was robbed across town. Batman escapes through the elevator shaft, but is ambushed by another squad. A lot of action heavy here. One of the team members follows him into the room, and Batman silences him. Did he kill him? Oh, not killed him, but like...
Did he kill him?
Kind of like knocked him out, I guess.
Yeah.
The rest of the squad is certain that Batman is in the room, and the leader tosses a tear gas grenade into the room, where it rolls up against some gas cans. Batman grabs his dude and dives through the window and swings away as the grenade causes a huge explosion. Batman deposits the dude safely down and dips into the shadows. Again, if you're like 7 years old and you're watching this, you are blown away.
For sure.
The animation in this pilot especially is just wild at times. Like it has that feeling of almost like I don't want to say too animated because that's a slight in a way, but like it just you see it in every single moment, just how fluid and wild it is. Like I feel like that's why people our age are so insistent on like good animation and kind of rough on like current day stuff is because like we grew up with stuff like this. And I know even at the time this was special. I'm not saying like this was the average, but it's amazing to look at.
This animation went from this to Cocomelon. Forget about it.
It's a straight line. Actually, I think Bruce Timm worked on Cocomelon, so it really went that way.
Oh God. The next day, Bruce Wayne arrives at the Gotham Zoo and heads into the Bat exhibit, calling for Dr. March. When Dr. March appears, Bruce explains that he's there about a possible bat problem, which is smart of him, since he's keeping hearing squeaks from his chimney.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. First of all, Dr. March is our standard Scooby-Doo red herring character, right?
Yes.
He's the groundsman.
Yeah.
So there's that. But then, for me, most notably is when he plays the sound for them.
Hey, Doc, I got something living in my chimney. Do you know what this might be?
Like this.
It's like you think that's a bat?
He plays it for him, and it sounds like there's a haunted witch somewhere hiding in his basement or something, just screaming like a Jurassic Park dinosaur.
It is a sound that I've heard in many cartoons before. I can't tell you where it originated from, but I've definitely heard it pop up a lot before. The thing that comes to my mind immediately is it was in the Buzz Lightyear Star Command movie.
Oh, there you go.
Like was the backdoor pilot for the show. Like that evil planet thing that they were powering up made this evil sound, and that was that. I recognize this sound when it happens.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bruce's eyes are really funny too. They're like shifting back and forth like really quickly to like read their expression.
Well,
might be a bat,
that's
right?
because he's not like he's playing it so that he can judge how they react to it. Like he wants to see if they recognize it immediately. It's exactly like in Survivor 47 when Rachel played her shot in the dark. Not because she needed it to be safe, but because she wanted to see if people reacted in such a way that she needed to play her immunity idol. It's the exact same thing, 1-to-1.
Does this mean that I have to force Last Airbender references, and you need to reference Power Rangers?
Yes,
might as well.
Yeah. This is like the Phantom Ranger. Your turn, Skyler.
Uncle Iroh.
Uncle Iroh.
Oh, he's Uncle Alfred.
More like Uncle I Roll.
Alfred.
March launches into a tirade against people who treat bats like pests. But his daughter and assistant, Francine, calms him down and introduces Bruce Wayne to her husband, Kirk Langstrom. I would say, yeah.
If you were gonna accidentally turn yourself into a giant bat monster and go do bat activities in the night, you couldn't ask for a better coworker than this March guy, because he's like, people are so mean to bats. People should be better to bats. Bats are superior beings, and I wish I was a bat.
Every mad scientist needs an Igor, and Dr. March is his Igor.
I guess so.
I would say Kirk looks like Max Shrek's son from Batman Returns. He got that chin from me.
Dad, no, save yourself.
Kirk is, let's be honest, him and Francine, both baddies. Very attractively drawn.
Yes.
That's fair.
I'm not entirely sure why he is like, you know what would be better than being a male model with presumably a really good paycheck for being a scientist? Big old bat dude.
It was an accident, and then he liked it.
Old bat.
That's when he was screaming, "It was an accident! I'm sorry!"
I looked this up. The guy who played, we all love this, the character, Nosferatu. The original guy, his name was Max Shrek.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that recently. So I think that's a very Tim Burton thing of him to do.
Do you think Christopher Walken should have been in the new Nosferatu?
He should. Yeah. He should.
Abrar looked like Bruce Wayne trying to play the audio to see what everyone's reaction was.
All right. Bruce plays the recording of the bat noises for for the hot couple, as Daniel mentions, but they don't recognize the sound as a bat.
Couldn't be me, mate. I've never heard that before in my life.
Not me. Kirk takes the tape and promises to analyze it. Yeah, right. Batman has decided to analyze it for himself. Good on him. But he can't find a match either. Alfred made a funny joke where he thought he would listen to rock and roll while Batman was listening to the audio. I like that. March calls at the moment and lets Bruce know that he has brown bats in his chimney, but they'll leave as it gets colder. This was a great scene because we see Batman talk like Bruce Wayne and he switches his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Great scene.
Yeah. I do think that Kevin Conroy doesn't quite have the Batman voice where he wants it yet. He kind of evolves it the more he plays the character. But yeah, seeing them take note of playing into changing of the voice, it's pretty cool.
It's good.
Yeah, I have a lot of opinions on Batman's voice. I'm sure I've talked about it on this very show before. But obviously, yeah, Kevin Conroy's voice at one point takes a drastic change, and I'm assuming based on just keeping his voice, where it needs to be. Because yeah, this early Batman voice, and we'll hear it throughout the rest of BTAS, is very gruff, very gravelly, which I think sounds like Batman. Like he's able to emote, he's able to yell and shout and do all these things, but later on he'll mellow it out, he'll smooth it out, and like New Adventures era, when we get to that point, that's where we get Batman for the rest of time. I'm a preferred fan of the original voice, just because of the variety between Bruce Wayne, hello, I'm Bruce Wayne versus Batman, which is down here. I like that difference. So I like in these episodes, like you said, we see Bruce Wayne, we see the Bruce Wayne in the Batcave, and we get to see Batman, and they're all distinct and different.
We'll get into it. However, since Batman has already ruled out brown bats as being the source of the hair, the sounds weren't recorded near his chimney anyways. Batman becomes sus. After running a computer scan of the noises, he decided that March is lying. That son of a bitch.
Oh, wow.
Back at the zoo, a shadowy figure is burning the tape and the hair. The figure suddenly begins to suffer an attack of some sort and takes the medicine to stop it. Batman arrives as the figure wanders out of the room and locates a discarded Phoenix pharmaceutical vital. Kirk re-enters the room, how convenient, and finds Batman lurking in the shadows.
I love this part. He just walks in, and Batman's just in the corner, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Batman,
hello."
Big fan.
Again, I love the design of how Batman was in the shadows. It's all black. Some the outline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish they did that in real life.
Yeah,
the beauty of animation, like that's the thing about superheroes and Batman. You can achieve many great things in animation that will just never get in live action.
Oh, Kirk tells him that they had created a new species, something that was neither man nor beast, and that creature is now looking for the final chemical to complete the transformation. Kirk then changes into the giant bat and attacks Batman. Thoughts on the design of Man-Bat?
this transformation is awesome. Imagine being.
Very cool.
Imagine. I mean, it's not like horrific or scary or even like the scariest thing that you could show a small child in the 90s. But imagine like some parents being like, all right, I'm going to put my 4-year-old in front of the TV and I'll put on Batman. Everyone loves Batman. You walk away and then they see this like scary transformation. It's cool.
It's an interesting choice to go with Man-Bat because you think of all the Batman media that's existed at this point, whether it be, the Super Friends cartoon in the 80s or the 60s Batman show, like you come to expect a certain thing with Batman. And then you watch this and it's like this dark noir with these, this big monster, essentially, this inverse of Batman. It's so totally different. I think it was a really smart choice, kind of demonstrating what this world is and not going with the biggest name first, because we'll get to Catwoman and Joker and all that eventually. Yeah. But for now, to kind of just play with a character people may not be familiar with is cool. And I think it's really effective. Like you said, Skyler, the transformation sequence is so well done and yes, scary. So it's appropriate. You're right there with Batman. You're shocked at what he's seeing.
Yeah. And to echo what you're saying, it sets the tone, like you said, of what the world can be. Because it doesn't, it's not just a crime boss. It's not just a guy with a gun. Even if they have a gimmick. It's like a monster. It's a scientific monster, almost like
Frankenstein,
like the Wolfman or Frankenstein. Yeah. So it sets the tone. So like, if we in a couple episodes we get Poison Ivy or Mr. Freeze, like we're rolling with it because we've already seen a monster.
Yeah, true. Exactly.
Does Kirk have the right to create a new species?
Well, he kind of fell backwards into a god complex. So, and that's famously not a good thing to have. So,
not at all.
I think it's okay since he turned himself into it. When he goes the Amazing Spider-Man lizard route and is like, everyone must be as beautiful as me, then it's bad. But if it's just like, I don't know, like that weird guy from the Ripley's Believe It or Not books who like tattooed himself to look like a lizard.
Oh yes,
whatever, dude. Do you have fun?
Right. His body, his choice.
Yeah.
I still have that book. He's in that book of mine.
Are you gonna get his cameo next for the show?
I think he died.
Oh, ink poisoning.
Man-Bat got him.
That gets 5 big booms.
Boom, 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 boom.
Don't do the 5th boom. We'll get sued.
Oh shit!
my God.
That's copyright infringement. Wait, do a 6 real fast. Then it's
Boom.
different. There we go.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. You almost got this whole thing shut down.
Told the whole
you better
show
think about your words and actions.
I apologize. I would say I'm always mad at Man-Bat in the Arkham games because he scares me all the time.
Oh, the Man-Bat jump scare?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You do kind of fight him the same way that Batman fights him in this, don't you?
Oh, kind of.
Fly around.
Yeah.
Hold on to your life.
Question for everyone: what Man-Bat do we prefer, brown or white? Those are the two like main versions of Man-Bat that are depicted in media. So, which is our favorites?
I like brown.
I think I'm gonna go brown. I don't remember the white one really.
He's white in the Arkham Knight.
Oh yeah, he's like not really. He doesn't have like the fur in that. He's much furrier in this.
Right, and he's got like the IV stuff sticking out of him still.
Yeah. That's like that works in like a horror setting of what he's supposed to be. I think I prefer the brown.
Brown is good.
The brown is a good look. The other major white depiction I can think of is in the Batman, where he's like a big white sort of thing. He's got the bats have that like pink sort of like messed up nose.
Yeah.
Got that going for him. But the brown is a cool sort of interesting look to him. I like the
Ace
brown.
Ventura, Shikaka.
Who?
Yeah.
No. The white is a good contrast to Batman's black, so that works visually in that sense. But I think I like the classic brown better.
Brown is good. Brown Boy Wonder. I'm Man Bat.
Brown. It's the Brown Bat Wonders.
Whee!
Oh.
All right. Just as the giant bat as Batman pinned beneath a desk, Francine comes in, shaming Kirk and making him flee. Batman attaches his...
Don't shame a big bat.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Make him sad.
Sad tears. Batman attaches his grappling hook into Kirk, the Man-Bat's leg, and then both go offline into the night. Batman and Man-Bat crash into a police blimp cockpit window, and the two engage in a fierce struggle.
Same guys are having a hell of a week.
Yeah, like Batman's face smashes right into that windshield and breaks it. Like, oh my god, dude. He's dead.
Well, he's Batman. Bullock and Gordon arrive and see the giant bat with Batman in tow. Batman covers Kirk's eyes, causing him to crash into a sign, knocking him out unconscious. Batman then picks up Man-Bat and flee.
Don't tell me you're gonna skip over Bullock trying to hobble his way into a helicopter.
Yeah,
Come on.
He did that. Yeah, he did that.
Gordon comes in, tells him to shut the hell up, says get in or don't. The helicopter takes off. He's like, whoa, hey! He got to haul his big butt into the helicopter.
His big butt. Big butt's wiggling.
In the future, if Bullock has his big butt wiggling anywhere, do not skip it. We need to talk about it.
I will talk about it. That is the main thing we're going to do.
That's what the show is for.
Big butts. Batman then picks up Man-Bat and flees before the police.
Big butts.
Big. Yeah, that should be a tagline.
Sorry, keep going, please.
So Batman picks him up and they flee. Back at the Batcave, Batman analyzed the list of components that Langstrom used to create the giant bat and develops a way to reverse the process. It reminds me of Batman Robin for Mr. Freeze. No.
Take 2 of these and call me in the morning.
Yeah, that. He arrives at the zoo where Francine is waiting and reveals that Kirk is back to normal. The chemical is out of his system, but Batman doesn't believe that the mission is truly over. Great episode. Great first episode. I'm going to say for each episode we're going to do, I'm going to say, is this the best episode? Not best. Is this a great episode or a bad episode? So I'm going to say this is a great episode because I feel like all these episodes are great, but there has to be one bad one. Has to be one bad.
Okay, so we're looking for the
bad
one bad ones.
Well, this one is great for me.
Yeah, I'd say it's great. I mean, like I said earlier, it's a great way to establish this world, introduce these characters, the dynamics, immediately right off the bat. No pun intended. So I'd say this is a really strong outing, and it's Man-Bat. Man-Bat doesn't get a lot of love. I'm not saying he deserves a lot of love. I'm not like the biggest Man-Bat fan in the world, but this is a good showing for the character. It's a good usage of him.
You're not a Man-Bat fan bat.
I'm not a fan bat. I'm a fond of Kirk, but just other than that, that's about it.
You're a fond bat.
Fond bat.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that Man-Bat's only suited to things that can be smaller episodes like this in episodic TV or a side mission in a video game. It definitely is where he works best, and I don't think we've ever seen him in anything other than that, right? So, but yeah, I like Man-Bat in this. I like it's a strong first showing for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give it a thumbs up. But this is a great episode.
Good episode. All right.
Yeah.
I usually
Daniel has an answer too.
Yeah. So I truthfully don't have much to add. It's a very good episode. I think it establishes everything really good, and the fact that this is not considered to be one of the better episodes of this show is just telling of how good the show is going to continue to be.
Yes,
true,
absolutely. All right. I usually have interesting facts for each episode, but this one I don't.
Okay.
Not very interesting. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
Couldn't be bothered to find him. Sorry.
Nope.
On to the next one.
This is your show, you know.
I know. I couldn't find any interesting facts. I was like, let's leave
I got
it.
one.
Not a bad in it.
When Dr. March calls him in the Batcave, he says, "What's up, Doc?" Because he's WB.
There you go. Thank you,
Very
Dana, for
nice.
saving the show.
That's what I'm here for.
When we get to the Joker episode we're going to talk about, that's when it's very apparent, like, oh yeah, this is 90s WB. Here we are.
Kids needs to watch Looney Tunes.
Yeah, watch the non-racist ones.
Yes.
Or do.
Well,
yeah.
no. You can watch the racist ones as long as you understand why they're bad. You
As
know?
long as
parent
Whoopi
with
Goldberg there is to explain it, that's
If
fine.
Whoopi Goldberg is there to be like, this is the context, then you're probably fine.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Great first episode, but now let's get into episode 2. And it's called The Cat and the Claw Part 1. Out in uptown Gotham City, Catwoman sneaks into a expensive apartment and steals a valuable necklace using her cat to see the security lasers and slip past them. However, Batman is watching and chases after the cat burglar. Catwoman is intrigued but leaps from a building top and uses her whip and her amazing gymnastic.
Nastic.
Thank
You
you.
got it. You're nailing it.
Thank you. Abilities to flee. Batman easily manages to catch up with her and chases her over the rooftops of Gotham. The chase. Yeah.
Let me tell you, that is one well-behaved cat. Just
Ooh.
slung over her neck, just sleeping. She's doing all these crazy. You don't take your cat swinging around. You're gonna drop your cat.
It's
I don't know
true.
what to say. It's scaring me.
There's a point later where she does like a super duper flip around the world and they land and the cat's eyes are like wide open. She's freaked out. But, hey, ISIS, not that bad.
She's
Is
good.
that animal abuse?
No, because she's Catwoman.
Oh,
She
would-
cat.
yeah.
She would literally
She knows
never.
better than anybody.
She can
The
say
cat.
it. Okay, she gets the pass. All right.
She is like inducting the cat into her crimes, though. She's making the cat steal things.
Okay.
Accomplice.
Against the law.
I was gonna. She might put the hole in the glass, but the cat goes in and gets it. The cat is the thief here.
She tells her to do it.
Cats are criminals. Let's not
Catwoman
forget.
is aiding
let's
and
be not
abetting.
forget.
No. Not
But-
all cats. Not
All
all
cats are criminals.
No. I
Hey,
will
cat.
not.
Lock them up.
I will be
Um,
the defender of cats on this episode.
Because
Well.
you owned a cat.
I have multiple cats. That is true.
And
I've seen
have
them.
they committed crimes? Because I know at least 2 of them have.
No misdemeanors.
Yeah, that's a crime.
Lock them
Yeah,
up.
but it's
Lock
not.
them up.
Not
That's
okay. Of the multiple cats that I have one that hasn't committed any crimes.
Yes.
the cat. Oh, the cat that committed the crime. I deleted that cat from 2K.
Whoa, I thought you were gonna say from life.
Yeah, I thought you were about to tell me that you deleted the cat from the show that we're watching right now. You
No,
deleted him.
No. I can't.
No
do that.
more ISIS.
The chase eventually comes to an end in the
That's what Scarlet
alleyway.
Witch said.
And Catwoman attacks. She managed to bury him under trash cans and runs. But Isis is almost run over in the middle of the road. Fortunately,
Endangerment.
Fortunately, Batman saves her. And
Batman is friends to the cats. That's
absolutely.
true.
Catwoman blows a cat whistle and calls up her cat. Thoughts on this version of Catwoman?
Iconic.
Hot.
Yes.
Pretty cool, dude.
Catwoman is interesting. They really nailed it with the design. I would say.
Mhm.
I was talking with Ray today. We were doing our Saturday comic book readings. We get our comic books every Saturday, and I think she was reading an issue of New Gods. And she asked me, "I was like, has Mr. Miracle ever changed his outfit? Like, has he always ever looked like this?" And I was like, "Yeah, more or less. That's just what he looks like. He's pretty much always looked like that." And Catwoman is not that. Catwoman has many, many designs over the years, whether
Yeah.
it's black leather or purple or like a cat head. Like, she's worn a lot from her very, very first appearance to now. So to kind of like take all that into mind and design what is just a really good Catwoman, I think is great. There's definitely some Pfeiffer in there. We see later Selina is blonde. That is just straight up Pfeiffer. But the design itself of the costume is really cool and unique, and I like it.
I think echoing the question that you asked for the last one, Abrar, like, would we see this in live action? Well, you said that about Batman's suit, but if Catwoman's suit, no, I don't think we'll ever see this in live action because it's too hard on its sleeve about what it is.
Yeah,
it's literally she's a cat in a cat suit. She's a cat burglar, so it's all cat. But you know, all the live action Catwomans, even, I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer's leaned into her being a cat. Meow, right? She does that.
Yeah.
But like the stitched up leather, it's like a twisted take on it. And then after that,
really good.
Anne Hathaway has the little goggles that kind of become ears.
Yeah.
And then Zoe Kravitz, who I think is a really good Catwoman as well. Like it's just, you know, burglar stuff, and then her thing happens to have little ear type shape to it. So
yeah, I'm kind of two minds of it because I do feel like if there was ever a situation in which they would be unabashed, like we're going to do the comic book version of this, it would be James Gunn's universe. But I also feel like, I mean, he's not. I don't think he's not directing the Batman movie. I don't know how much control he's going to have over
Andy Muschietti.
But even if it was James Gunn, I feel like he would be more likely to go for like the Arkham design. You know what I mean? Like that.
I like
feels
the Arkham design as well.
I mean, it's good. That's like one of my top 4. It would be the animated series, the Pfeiffer one, Arkham, and then the purple Long Halloween one. Like those for me are the 4 most iconic.
Classic.
But of those, I think the one most likely to show up in near future would be probably the Arkham one.
Well, that was the thing when I remember and now we're just talking about Catwoman, but hey, Catwoman's great. When Anne Hathaway was like first cast and we hadn't seen anything for her, we all just sort of assumed that she would have that sort of modern look with like the goggles and everything and the black leather suit.
Right.
And so when she shows up with like essentially a domino mask and the little flipped up ears, we were like, oh, that's a bit more like, yeah, it is kind of a sort of realistic take, you know, like you said, the goggles become the ears. And I actually like that. But it was like a bit more of a retro. Yeah, it's cute, but like it's kind of a retro design. It's very 60s, right? Just a mask and some ears and a black suit. Yeah. And so it is kind of surprising that we haven't had the goggles look at all. So I do hope we get that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Great, and of course it is very influence of Michelle Pfeiffer's because that movie came out like 92, and this show just came out as well. So perfect blend. All right. Later, a charity auction for animal preserves is held for a date with the most eligible bachelors in Gotham. And the
Bruce Wayne.
Yes, on the next on the list is Bruce Wayne.
It's Bruce Wayne and a guy with the worst mustache I've ever seen. Like those are the two that we see on stage.
That's all he can grow. You leave him alone.
He should be clean shaven then.
Well, the biting goes on for a while and finally ends up with Selina Kyle, a sponsor for the Mountain Lion Preserve, bids $10,000 for him. This bid should have been $1 million. That's Bruce Wayne.
What did the guy from Batman and Robin bid?
Oh, I think that was $10 million.
You know that J. Jonah Jameson looking guy.
That was for Batman, not Bruce Wayne.
He was bidding.
That's true.
He wasn't bidding on Batman. He was bidding on the Tiger Lily.
Isn't that what was happening in the scene? Were they bidding on Batman and Robin? The wonderful night.
I want Batman for the night.
That's how I remember that scene going.
Some of my crimes.
Oh, jeez. Well, Bruce is delighted to be her date, but Selina is more interested in saving the animals. Bruce insists on dating her, and she agrees to go on a lunch with them. So congrats to Bruce and Selina on the first date.
How do we feel about all the background extra characters at this party, this charity auction, just being blue, motionless people standing behind everybody?
It's
all of that.
It's fine.
I don't have a
You know?
complaint. I just
Yeah.
I just think it's a little silly.
I did notice it, and I was like, oh, but it
Yeah.
didn't bother me. It didn't take me out.
No. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh. Outside, police give a chase to a military truck holding army weapons. Bruce disappears, and Batman takes the scene, and taking out the criminals and stopping the robbery. One of the criminals manages to escape unnoticed into the sewers, but the other two are captured. Commissioner Gordon goes to talk to Batman and tells him that the leader the leader is known as the Red Claw, and they're in Gotham, but they had no leads. Is the Red Claw in the comics?
I don't know.
I believe Red Claw is an original character. I'm fairly certain.
Because I couldn't find anything. It was just for the show.
I'm
She's
not
a
familiar
big
with her
lady.
outside of this. In fact, when I was remembering this episode, in my brain, she had become Lady Shiva, like before I rewatched it for this. So
I mean, very similar sort of usage, I guess you could say. I would like to know the sort of inspiration for using that character, but yeah, it is just a sort of an original character, just as a terrorist woman, you know? That's it.
Might have been some big strong lady from some movie Bruce Timm had watched, because that's how he gets a lot of inspiration.
Well,
watch it be like
yeah.
China from wrestling.
Whoa, that'd
From
be cool.
wrestling.
No, it's too early. It's 92. She came in around 98.
Wow, all right. Thanks, Abrar. You ruined that.
Sorry. It might be, I don't know. Who's a big lady back in the 90s? Early 90s.
Who knows?
Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, she's the
I mean-
worst.
Don't get political.
Oh, she was.
Yeah.
The next day, Selena and her secretary Maven talk about the.
I want to talk
impending-
about Maven for a second.
Go ahead.
She looks like Daria.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Don't say
agree.
yes like that, like you were thinking that. No way.
No, when you said it, it makes sense because she has the
Okay,
glasses, she has the hair. I see it.
What's the name of Selena Kyle's usual like street rat
Holly.
kid friend? Holly. Is this supposed to be like a stand-in for her? You think?
No, I don't think so. They're not similar in any kind of way, so I would doubt
Well,
it.
it's just that they're like her second. You know, they are her squire.
I think it's just common for her to have a female companion. Like Catwoman is just natural for her to have a little underling that like trusts her, which I like. I like that she kind of has varying forms of assistance, essentially.
Yeah. Plus, this Selena doesn't have the vibe of, she's not poor.
Sex worker.
Hang on.
Mm.
She's not like poor, like underprivileged, traumatized past type thing.
Yeah.
Stealing on the streets. She's still like Robin Hooding in her own way, right? She's stealing all this stuff from rich people and then using that to like donate to cats because she loves cats. But
she's clearly some kind of like
she
successful
herself, I feel like
businesswoman.
they made her all elegant, a femme fatale type instead of what Catwoman is a lot now, which all valid versions, I think.
Yeah, she definitely comes from money, which is, like you said, a bit different from the sort of like down on the street type of Catwoman that we we can see in the Reeves movie. You know, like that's kind of what that Catwoman is. You know, I never really thought about it until sort of comparing Catwomans, but like, how come Catwoman and Oliver Queen have never like crossed paths or done anything? You know, like she's always stealing from the rich and everything, and Oliver Queen is Green Arrow. He's Robin Hood.
Yeah, he's literally Robin Hood.
Yeah, you know, like Green Arrow's Batman, basically. So
he's allergic to cats.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't forget about that issue where Green Arrow fights a big ball of yarn.
He walks in
dies.
and he says he sees Speedy playing with a big old cat. He's like, Speedy, no! Speedy, no!
My boy, a cat fan? Yeah, it's. I mean, that was a rough one.
Canonically, he prefers birds. Like we know this.
Oh, yes, sir.
Well, we gotta make that comic. Selena, Kyle, Catwoman, and Oliver Queen.
And they
Coming
fight.
soon.
And then they kiss. And then Batman sees it and he leaves. He doesn't say anything.
I mean, he does the Home Alone pose. He puts his hands on his face and screams. That's how it ends.
I'm like pretty sure there is a comic where Batman and Black Canary hook up. So there could very well be one where Oliver.
It's
and
time.
Selena hook
It's
up.
time for Oliver Queen to even the odds. Then.
And the Jedi to end.
What?
Oh yeah, I agree with that too.
Okay. Well, what's her name? Selena Kyle and maybe we're talking about the impending date with our fabulous Bruce Wayne. But Selena is more interested in the man with the big ears, Batman. Just as Wayne comes up, Selena's lawyer calls up and says that a deal has been called off. She's been looking to purchase land for the Mountain Lion Preserve, but Multigon International has taken it. Wayne offers to help and gets her a meeting with the company chairman, Stern. Howard?
Okay.
No. Thank you. However, he refuses to help to claim that his company is going to build a major resort.
You can tell that he's serious about it because he's got a big table that comes out of the ground.
Yeah,
very big.
That I do want to talk about. He has like a secret piano password to raise his work table, but then like he just shows these two random people his password.
He'll show anybody.
Yeah.
He just likes the secret password table. He had it built. It was tax deductible for one reason or another.
God, I'm sure it was.
Because he doesn't pay taxes.
True.
And he's just like, check this out. I got a little doot doot doot, and it comes out of the floor. How cool is that? Anyways, I'm going to total the land that you want.
It's a song anyone can play too. So like, if you just happen to be a little bored, you're like, oh, I'm gonna play this. Like because as we see later, that comes into play. I don't know why he wouldn't make it something that people wouldn't play. You should have made it like a bad song or a made up song or something.
Is it Joy to the World? Is that what I'm remembering?
No.
It's like I don't know. It don't matter.
I could check if you want me to.
No, it's not that important.
No, I'm checking. Go on.
Check it. Selena is angry, claiming that the land is in the middle of nowhere. Mr. Stern claims that Multigon will take care of the cats one way or another. Selena is outraged and threatens to have the environmentalist alerted so that the company will have to keep on a close watch. After the meeting,
I checked the song.
What is it?
I don't know the name.
Damn it.
What? You can't pronounce it?
No, I just don't know the name of it. I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay. I thought you maybe looked up what song was in this episode, and it's like
no. I went to the part in the episode and listened to it, and I was like, no, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Can you hum it?
No, it's too late.
Okay. Thank you, Skyler, for checking. I'm glad all of us it was you who checked that. Amen.
Thank you. After the meeting, however, Stern privately speaks with a fearsome woman, Red Claw herself, and voices his concerns. Red Claw orders Selena tailed unwillingly to allow their plans put on jeopardy. I would say Red Claw, we did say she's a big woman, but her outfit reminds me of like a Mortal Kombat character, like Melina or something.
A little bit. Was he just keeping Red Claw in a closet?
Looks like it, yeah.
I mean, I think it's supposed to be like a big hallway that leads to a evil base, right? But he just opens the door and she's right there. He's like, "Oh my god, they're onto us!" And she's just there in the closet.
She's like, "I know, I heard from the closet.
Let me out!"
That night, Batman grills a mob boss for information on the Red Claw. Meanwhile, Catwoman sneaks into the Multigon and seeks information. While this goes on, Red Claw talks to her men about a train that will be transporting a viral plague that Interpol took from her organization. Just outside of the room, Catwoman searches through the Multigon hidden safe and takes picture of their files. Fortunately for her, she's been surveyed and Red Claw emerges with her men, looking to kill the intruder. Catwoman manages to escape into the air vents is pursued by thugs. Fortunately, she's managed to leave cat-shaped spikes all over the shaft, stopping her pursuers. She then escapes up to the elevator shaft, but Red Claw and her thugs follow her to the roof. Catwoman jumps on the ledge to another building, but Red Claw shoots the ledge with an explosive, causing her to fall to her death. However, Batman saves Catwoman. Catwoman is so grateful to him by smooching. They're kissing it up.
I don't think the kiss was just being grateful. I think she's been thinking about that all week.
She's being horny.
She also specifically says that the kiss is for saving her cat.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
yes.
That's
in more ways than one.
That's how you get to the lady's heart. You gotta put
her cat.
Put their cat in mortal danger, then save it.
That's the best way to do it. Catwoman tries to convince Batman to let her go, but Batman refuses. Angered, Catwoman throws him off the building and runs off. That scene reminds me of Batman Returns. When on the rooftop.
Kitty litter.
Yeah. I'm a woman.
He also tries to unmask her. Like, he goes full any heel in a Rey Mysterio match on her.
Oh. I know what you mean.
Do you?
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, okay.
With her mission completed, Catwoman returns home. She tells Maven about what she discovered and believes that she'll save the mountain lions. However, one of the Red Claws thugs watching her and sees her unmasked. That's the end of the episode. Great episode. Great part 1.
Yeah, do we rate it now or do we watch the other? Do we do the other part and then rate it? Because I feel like we've only watched half of an episode.
That's true, but it is an episode.
I don't know. It's your show.
It's your show. You tell us.
We'll get into part 2 then. But I do have an interesting fact. For this episode. The 4th level of 1994's The Adventures of Batman and Robin, the video game, is based directly on the first few minutes of this episode, with Batman chasing Catwoman and her cat across rooftops and alleyways. The music is also the same.
Very nice.
All right.
That is an interesting fun fact, and I'm glad you shared it with us.
Thank you. Yeah, if I have them, I'll give it to you. But if I don't have them, I won't.
Thank you. Next time you don't have one, I won't come back.
Let's move on. Episode 3, Catwoman and the Claw, Part 2. In Gotham Park, the mob boss, Batman, grilled for information, arrives and tells Batman that there are rumors of a train heist. But he doesn't know if Red Claw and her friends are on it. I do like when Batman disappears mid conversation. It's my favorite thing.
I love how he's bullying this mobster. It's amazing. I love that Batman's at the point already that he's like messed around with the crime of Gotham so much that they know what he can do. So he's just showing up and threatening him like, you think it's bad now? I'll make it really bad for you. just think of what I can do. And this guy's like, okay, I'll let you do whatever you want. I'm sorry.
He's good at it. Batman goes to talk to Commissioner Gordon about it, but there's nothing about the train schedule. However, Batman deduces that it's a military train and the information was classified. Gordon agrees to make the call. Elsewhere, Red Claw and her thugs attack the train, easily manage to gain access to the plague. It's like a James Bond episode or movie. Yeah. Things are complicated. However, when Batman shows up, all the same, the Red Claw makes the feather. Excuse me. All the same. This was probably cat. No, sorry. Hold on.
What's happening?
There's some
Did you do a stinky fart or something?
No, there's like some feather.
No, it's Red Claw's plague.
Me. No, it probably is. Excuse me. Red Claw makes it on the train car and obtains the canister. Batman tries to stop her. This is the scene where Batman was like, Red Claw is a woman? She was a woman? She was like, you got a problem with that? Batman, go ahead, Skyler, you can say the line.
He's like, no, I'll kill you.
No.
Perfect quote.
No. Batman was like, nah, I'm an equal opportunity crime fighter. Great line. Whoever wrote that, they should applaud themselves right now.
Whoever wrote it. It says that in the credits who wrote every episode. You didn't check?
I wasn't paying attention. Whoever that said, applaud yourself right now.
Do it now. Thank you, sir. Or her. But she threatens to release the plague and kill everyone with a 10-mile radius. Completely aware that she would be killed as well. Oh, damn. Crazy person. Batman is forced to back off while Red Claw escapes. Yeah, it's literally a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Dr. No, all that.
The aesthetic of Batman fighting goons on the train. I love that.
It's good.
Classic Batman.
Classic Batman. Classic train.
Classic train. Trains are inherently superhero, you know? They represent action and movement and exciting things happening.
Sure.
They go choo choo.
I just really like
the
the hand cart equivalent that they've chosen to use to catch the train is a fully just rocket powered sled.
Yeah.
Like
this
that's
is important stuff.
Good. The next day, Selena and Bruce go on their date. Are you guys excited for Bruce here? He's been waiting.
Yeah. This was a $10,000 date.
That's true.
Not for him though. He didn't pay. He got the money, or someone did. I don't know.
Well, finally, but the Red Claws men start crashing their car into Bruce's, trying to force him off a bridge. Bruce takes an evasive driving maneuver and finally forces the thugs off the bridge, playing chicken. Have you guys played chicken like this before?
Have I played chicken like this before? My God, Abrar.
No, but
yes.
I've seen Footloose. Does that count?
That counts.
Sure, then yeah.
It reminds me of the scene. Yeah, go ahead.
The closest thing I ever played to this was when I worked at the movie theater. Sometimes we would get completely frozen cans of soda, and we would challenge each other to see who could hold on to it the longest because it hurt like real bad.
Oh man,
okay,
I was really good at it.
You know, every time you ride with our friend Christian, it's kind of like playing chicken with every other driver on the road. So
no, Anthony,
live like
you
that.
almost died.
He's a better driver now. He drives for a living.
That is true.
Oh God, duck and cover.
We need Christian on this pod. He needs to be on this.
Say what?
Before you even ask him, he refuses. Go ahead. Let's talk about Batman. Keep going.
Batman. Bruce takes Selena home, as you should, and urges her to tell him that she's in trouble because he really cares about her. Something he hasn't felt in a long time. Selena thanks Bruce for his concern and then goes back into her apartment. Upset over the attempt on her life and knowing that the bunkers underneath of the resort, she dressed up and goes out for the night. Back in the Batcave. Batman wonders about Miss Kyle's connection to the Red Claw, but has no clues. Just then, Alfred noticed a cat hair on Bruce's coat. Remembering a hair left on his coat by Isis, her cat. Batman deduces Catwoman's identity. Meanwhile, Maven is attacked by a thug in her own apartment. Just before the thug can hurt her, Batman arrives and plummets him into submission. Batman then confronts Maven really close, really close. And Batman needs to back off a bit, I'll say. But
he's an equal opportunity crime fighter.
Yeah, I know. But he got really close.
It's okay, he's an ally.
He was asking about Catwoman's activities and whereabouts. Maven gives up the information and tells Batman that Catwoman is in love with him. And Batman's like...
I wish Batman had just said, duh.
Honestly. First of all, let's all cheer for Batman right now. He got his Catwoman. Congrats, Batman.
Okay.
Although Batman doesn't respond to the information, he flees away. Catwoman infiltrates the multi-guns site. One of the Red Claws guards is patrolling the facility when he gets snagged behind a bush by Catwoman. She leaves him hog-tied, and gagged, and he gets presumably eaten by the mountain lion. We don't see that guy ever.
No. I mean,
the mountain lion curls up with him and just snuggles.
Catwoman can definitely kill people. She doesn't have rules. So sure, maybe.
That dude's gone. She then proceeds to enter through the ventilation system. She then takes pictures of their weapons. Unfortunately, the Red Claw thugs catches her, but Batman saves her again. Great guy. Batman tries to get her to safety, but the duo is captured and left tied up in the bunker made by the government to hide officials. The Red Claw leaves the plague virus, with the two explaining that the virus is too dangerous to keep. She will release the fake plague on Gotham, and by the time they realize it to be faked, she'll already have her $10 billion gold
Do the thing.
ransom.
Do the Dr. Evil finger thing.
10 billion gold. I love gold. Thank you.
All right, well, you just
Whoa.
We will do an Austin Powers eventually, maybe in 10
All
years.
right.
Oh, I'd be down for that.
10
All right.
years?
Yeah.
I'm
you
not
know,
promising to live another 10 years.
You will live in the next 10 years.
Oh, all right. Skyler will. Daniel and I are questionable, but Skyler for sure making it. Can't wait.
Why would you curse me like that?
She drops a bit of acid onto the canister, slowly eats through the seal, and evacuates the premise.
This is a very James Bond episode. You're correct.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It is. Getting a little tired of the James Bond.
There's a lot of like global Batman stuff. Like I've always felt anything to do with Ra's al Ghul feels very Bond. Even
Yeah.
Nolan had mentioned that when doing Begins. Like there's something inherently Bond about Batman globe-trotting and dealing with these sort of like international criminals. This is very similar to that. Like Daniel had mentioned earlier, the sort of similarities between like Lady Shiva. That also kind of rings true with this. It's that's full on sort of Bond-esque adventure.
Yeah.
I love it though. It's good. Catwoman, however, managed to manage to cut the ropes with her claws, and the pair manages to get free. Batman tells Catwoman to escape, but he has to remain to destroy the plague. He's an honorable guy. He uses a hose to spray gas from a tanker truck and tosses a grenade and set off the gas trail, thereby starting a huge ammunition and destroys the facility, including the newly released virus.
I love this part. Batman just scurrying around, destroying everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to always joke about it's like Batman is always prepared for everything. You know, he's the ultimate tactician. Sometimes you just gotta go monkey mode. You just went wild.
I just love he's running around, dousing everything. Let's just blow it all up.
Just do it. Then to escape, he drives the tanker truck through the garage door and crashes it into the Red Claw's rotor heavy lift helicopter. Red Claw's stranded men, including the multi-guns chairman Stern, are all then illuminated by the searchlights from hovering Gotham's police department helicopters and arrested.
That part's so funny to me when he smashes through the big door and explodes the truck into the helicopter. It's just like, Batman, you didn't know what was behind that door. You didn't know if anyone was in that helicopter. You just took a gamble.
You just said F it.
There's a moment coming up, and we'll get to it in our last episode of this episode here, where there's moments like that where you're like, Batman, you just let that happen, or Batman, you just sort of hoped for the best. There's people in peril, people jumping out of things where it's like, you didn't know.
Yeah,
Batman.
like you see all the little people from that big helicopter all kind of scurry away like ants before it explodes. But how could he know? You're gonna get caught up killing somebody through negligence like that. But no, God wills it. Biblically accurate Batman. the criminals part like the Red Sea.
That's Batman. Rather than making her escape in a small helicopter, an enraged Red Claw goes after Catwoman, attacking her from behind and leaving her unable to fight back. But she can finish Catwoman off. A mountain lion pounces on a Red Claw from behind and hitting her off the cliff and injuring her. Catwoman then disappears into the shadows. Shout out to the mountain lion.
Yeah. It's like
I'd say the day.
it's like the wolf from Resident Evil 4.
Hey,
The
it's
one
that
with the
mountain
three
lion.
The one with the 3 heads?
What?
No, it's okay.
Arborist?
I'm thinking of something else.
You don't have to.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Hulk with Eric Bana.
Oh, when he fights the dogs?
Yeah.
Well, Hulk rips one of those dogs in half. So
Oh, he did. Returning home, Catwoman finds that Maven is gone, but Batman is there. As Batman finally admits his feelings for Catwoman, he reluctantly places her under arrest. End of the episode.
Good
episode? I feel it's great.
yeah, I mean, there's enough stuff. I won't I won't lie. I'm not a fan of Red Claw. I think she's kind of a flat line for me. I'm not against, like Anthony was saying, like the Batman kind of globetrotting, like global terrorism, shut that down kind of thing. That works for me. I just think, really, we were so preoccupied, rightfully so. We're still building up Batman. We're introducing Catwoman. We're doing all this stuff, and then we just kind of have this Red Claw character that doesn't really do much for me, because we don't delve into her that much. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Just big, strong, bad lady.
Right. She serves a purpose, and like you said, the focus is on Selena Kyle, so that's more important.
Yeah.
And there are other characters in this role that will be stronger in terms of this type of villain, in my opinion.
Sure.
I mentioned Ra's al Ghul earlier, or Ra's al Ghul as he is in this show. Both are correct people. Both are correct pronunciations of that name.
Yes.
So, like,
am I saying this right? Raz Al Ghul?
Mr. Raz Al Ghul. No, Mr. Raz Al Ghul. That's a different guy. But so I understand that. I do think is it just a thumbs up or thumbs down? Is that our rating here?
Yeah, I guess so, more or less.
I would still give it a thumbs up because it is a very entertaining Batcat episode or story.
Yeah.
And I love Batcat. Those two are great together. So I think for that reason, it really stands up, even though it does lack in its sort of main villain.
I agree. The introduction of Selena Kyle, their relationship to each other, both as Batman and Catwoman, and Selena and Bruce. And then especially the ending where he does arrest her. I think it all works. It all makes it all worthwhile. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
I agree. It's I almost called her Shiva again. Red Claw is sure not like the most exciting thing in the world. I don't think that she necessarily does anything wrong, but the episodes are really mostly about the relationship between Bruce and Selena, and they nail that. So it is
absolutely
very good.
Also, just the nature of it being a 2-parter episode where we're stretching things out. A lot of it seems to go a little bit slower, which isn't a bad thing by any means, but it just does comparable to the faster pace action that you'd be used to, just like on Leather Wings, for example. It's just we get the whole story in the 20 minutes or whatever, and then this one you kind of throw the main villain I don't care about, and then we stretch it out to 40 minutes. It bogs it down a little bit, but not enough to make it a thumbs down.
Let's do this. Let's do thumbs up for a great episode. Mid.
No, you've already said thumbs up or down. I'm not doing
up or down. I'm
not doing more.
No, mid.
I feel like
you can introduce the middle, but I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
No, I feel like introducing too many variations, we get too bogged down on it. Let's just say if it's good or bad. We can either say we liked it or we didn't like it. Simple as that. And we liked this episode.
I'm going to give this one a middle 0.5. No.
I hate when people rate things like, oh, this is a 9.2. Give it a 9.
You're right, and you should say it. I'm glad.
Yeah. I just don't understand. The points don't, the decimals doesn't make sense.
There are those weird ranking systems where it's like acting gets a this, setting gets a this, story gets a this, and it adds up to a big number. We ain't doing that here.
No.
That's not what we're about.
There is a rating for wrestling. It's like, oh, is this promo great? 10 out of 10, something like that. I'm like, just shut up.
But it gets a thumbs up because it has that cool part where Gordon pulls the Batman phone out of the drawer.
Oh yes.
Gordon's in it. Thumbs up. I mean, that's a spoiler alert for my ranking system.
It's good. All right, that was the end of the Catwoman series there, but she'll come back. But now, episode 4, The Last Laugh.
Here we go.
Oh man, this is where we take our shoes off for this one.
What
It
does
gets
that
stinky.
mean?
Oh, it gets
God.
stinky.
Just get into it. Come on.
All right, I'll get into it. It's April Fool's Day in Gotham, and there's a robotic clown carrying green garbage that emits green gas, floats over the river. Pretty much a typical day in Gotham City. An armored truck driver smells the gas and starts laughing and starts to drive crazy. More people smell the gas and they start laughing as well. The victims seem to have lost their senses, and as the truck driver drives his truck right into the river. Have any of you guys went to the doctor's office? Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Have you guys went to the doctor's office and had the laughing gas?
No, I thought you were going to say, have any of you driven an armored truck off a bridge?
No.
Not recently. I will take this moment to ask Skyler, is
Uh-oh.
this the episode you were referring to earlier about the music?
100%.
Absolutely. This episode, the music is so funny. It gets so wild. It's just it feels, I guess, silly to say because it's just a nice orchestral sort of sound to it. It doesn't sound alien, but like there's like a theme to
Yeah.
this barge of laughing, sort of like gas and garbage. And this is also the first time we hear the Joker's theme, the iconic Joker theme in this
Yeah.
episode. So yeah, I think a lot of Danny Elfman's influence is within the Batman score, but Shirley Walker is really what makes this series iconic with its own, unique music.
That drum beat made me bust up every time it came on.
Yeah, it was great.
Elsewhere, Bruce cuts himself shaven, and Alfred notes that he's tired from his crime fighting. There's a shot of where Alfred is between Bruce's legs. I don't like that.
Why not?
It got too little freaky to me.
Come on. Good.
Come on. To help him relax, Alfred tries playing an April Fool's joke on Bruce, but it falls flat. Alfred drew him a bath while Bruce takes a shower. He hears a report on the radio about people who are having nearly fatal accidents on the bridge due to them acting like fools. I just want to point out, do you guys like the bath joke that Alfred did?
I love that they bully each other.
Yeah.
It is good. It really is a good one. It's also good for like a kid show. Yeah, that may be the kids' first time hearing that joke, and then they can go to school and they can try it out, and then they tell their friends like, "I drew you a bath," and they're like, "What? What did you do? You made me a bath?" And they go, "No, it's," and then they realize it doesn't work on average people.
My favorite part of the joke is he says, "I drew you a bath," and Bruce is like, "That sounds great. I'm going to take that bath now." He goes in. He's like, "Alfred, what gives? There's no bath."
You're
And then
fired.
he shows him the drawing, and he's like, "I got you, April Fools." And Bruce is like, "I guess I'll take a shower then. Like, are you not going to draw me one now? Don't you work for me?" And Alfred's like, and he just leaves.
Yeah, Alfred
drawing
better
your
be
shit.
careful. Keep making pranks like this, and Bruce is gonna take it out of the salary. That's all I'm gonna say. He's got to be careful.
We'll get to that, please.
So Bruce was like, okay, these things are happening. It must be the work of the Joker. Meanwhile, Joker's henchmen dive and steal the contents of the armored truck while the Joker fixes himself up towards the financial district. Once the ship has docked, Joker and his men go out with the shopping carts and gas mask. Or in this case, Joker's has like a fishbowl, and starts stealing from people. Yeah, and start stealing from people and the stores in the area. The people are busy laughing their ass off and dancing around. Like there's nothing to do to stop it. Now we've seen the Joker here. Thoughts on this version of the Joker?
We've answered questions similar to this by just saying iconic before, but it doesn't get much more iconic than this, right?
We'll say it again.
This Joker isn't just iconic for the Joker. It he almost defines a period of Warner Brothers animation. Like Ian captures the spirit of the Animaniacs in the early 90s Warner Brothers. It's so perfect. And his little fishbowl helmet goes with that. And I love his thugs, how a lot of times in other stuff, Joker's got thugs. They're just goons that have to wear a silly mask, and they're like, well, I work for the Joker. What are you going to do? This Joker will not hire you to be a thug unless you are willing to commit to the bit with him. They got their little shopping carts, and they're just walking through town in their clown masks.
Yeah. A great detail I only noticed this time around is they go down, like they're deep sea diving. They're using the barge to go deep sea diving. And they're wearing diving uniforms, but both of them are wearing uniforms that don't fit. The bigger guy, it's like the buttons are stretched out and they're riding up on his legs. And then the other guy has like a baggy outfit. It's like, that's an amazing detail to put in there, that they're just wearing the wrong scuba outfit.
The wrong ones.
Good.
That's so funny.
While the Joker and his men go out in their shopping spree, Batman does an analysis of the gas and learns that a prolonged exposure will result in a permanent insanity. That's not good. Not for me. Oh, I think if I had the gas, I think it'd be fine, because I'll be laughing, right? But I'll be going insane.
It might drive you permanently insane, Abrar. So as your friend, I'm going to say no, don't try it.
I won't try it.
But could permanently insane Abrar be much worse than what we got now?
Probably not. About it. Look at him. Oh no! Do you recognize the sound? Look at him go.
He's got some Joker toxin under his desk. He's thinking about huffing it after we finish here.
No, Abrar, that's just galaxy gas. Don't use that.
Okay, I won't use it.
Okay, good.
Maybe after. Batman calls up Alfred for help, but Alfred blows him off. What the hell, Alfred? At first, Batman thinks it's just a joke, but he hears crashing and runs upstairs to find that Alfred is exposed to the gas. He's also crazy too. He's destroying the library as well. Quickly donning a gas mask, Batman realized that he must stop the gas before it's too late. I mean, it might be too late as well. I think it's done. Gotham's done. It's over. Never mind.
I agree. It's over.
Okay, it's over. Things are only getting better for the Joker as the stocks have crashed and his profits have risen. However, Batman drags the scowl out of the sea with the bat boat and floors it. Joker's first two henchmen are dealt with easily enough, but the captain of the ship tears the toll cable in two with his bare hands and attacks Batman. Yeah. So do you guys like the robot of the captain? The captain as a robot?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that it's just a robot. That's kind of fun. Once again, similar to what we're talking about with Man-Bat, where it's like, oh, this is the world we live in. Joker just has a cool retro robot clown, and I think that's kind of fun.
He just got it. It doesn't matter where he got it. It doesn't matter if he built it, if he bought it, if he stole it. He just has it, and he dressed it up like a clown, and he made it fight Batman, and that's all that matters.
I just choose to believe it's a repurposed animatronic from the amusement mile or something,
Oh,
that's kind of what I was thinking. Something similar like that. Like he stole it from a museum or something similar.
I'll say Batman with the mask on. It's pretty cool.
The shot of him on the boat with the cape billowing and he's got his gas mask. That is cool.
Pretty cool. They should sell that as an action figure. I'm
sure they did.
Pretty good chance.
Do you know how many Batman animated? There was more Batman toys than Star Wars toys at one point on the shelves.
I have to get that.
Maybe that was hyperbole. There was a lot of Star Wars. Go on.
During
I
that
had a lot of
time,
Batman toys in my room, so we'll count that. In my room specifically before 1999, I had way more Batman toys than Star Wars toys. After 99, different. That's different, but
Strange things are happening.
when Batman hits him, he only hurts himself as the captain is made out of metal, of course. Captain Clown grabs Batman and spins him over his head until Batman is too dizzy to fight. Batman is then shoved into a trash can. Holes are poked into it, and then he's thrown into the ocean.
Holes are stabbed into it.
Yeah.
Batman looked so sad when he was getting spun around. He didn't like it.
He's confused.
It was very cartoony, which was very, very fun. Like, once again, we're going into this whole thing about how there's certain things you can do here and not elsewhere. And a robot spinning Batman around where he looks like a whirlwind is only something you can do in animation, but they sell it. They sell it because when he's done, Batman's like, "Oh God!" Like, he's about to throw up.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, that made it not like as cartoony. It made it more like, oh, Batman is in danger. Like, we should be worried about him.
He's gonna puke.
He's gonna. Oh, we can't quote him anymore.
There's some lines. Water fills the trash can, and Batman nearly drowns, but he manages to call the Bat Boat. And he has to cut through the trash can.
I thought this was so funny. Because, of course, you're like, how's Batman going to get out of this? That's what you're supposed to ask yourself.
Yes.
How's Batman going to get out of this one? And the Batboat just comes over and just blows off.
It's easy. That's what we got to do.
Also kind of James Bond in a way. Very like Roger Moore era James Bond.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's not like a James Bond kids show.
He
James
has
Bond Jr.
far too much sex with women. Come on.
There was a kid show. It was called James Bond Jr. It was about his nephew. There's a whole animated show.
Where did that come out?
Like the late 80s, early 90s.
I might check into that.
Yeah, like I said, his name is James Bond Jr., but he's his nephew. I don't know how that works. But that's
whenever you cover that on this show, I'm busy.
Don't worry, I'll watch it by myself. Don't worry. Also, do we want a Captain Clown live action?
Like a solo film?
Wait a minute.
Like his origin,
like a Sony Pictures. This time he's an anti-hero thing.
Yeah.
James Gunn, are you listening?
He reminds me of I think he's called the Space Kook, the like Scooby-Doo alien robot guy.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay.
That's your pitch to DC.
Yeah. Do the Space Kook, but he's a clown.
James Gunn, I know you know Scooby-Doo. I just saying.
Just give live action Scooby-Doo another go, huh?
Yeah.
Set it in the DC universe. Make it canon.
Get the same cast too. Don't even just get them.
I actually want a live action Scooby-Doo with Johnny Bravo, that episode, but I want that live action.
That's a good episode.
You know what else Scooby-Doo crossed over with?
What?
Batman.
True.
Yes.
There you go. Finally,
right,
let's get it done.
Well, before we get into that, Joker returns to the junkyard and sprays more of his toxin on the garbage. Fortunately, Batman arrives and cuts the hoses, not hose, but the hoses pumping out the toxin. He then removes the henchman's mask, and then they all started laughing. Captain Clown, he can't laugh because he's metal, and the robot attempts to stop Batman, and even though Batman grabs a metal pole, the robot is too strong for him. Not ready to give up, Batman manages to lure the robot into a car crusher and crushes it into a small cube.
This is why we had the robot. Because superheroes can't murder and maliciously maim real people. So you put in a robot, the Ninja Turtles can dice him up. You put in a robot, Superman can rip his head off. You put in a robot, Batman puts him in a car crusher. Fantastic. Children cartoon violence. Fantastic.
Robots are the key. You killed Captain Clown.
I love that.
Joker's pissed, of course, and dumps a load of garbage onto his enemy.
You know what? I got to talk about something else.
Yeah.
Batman gets his cape ripped off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Naked. Silly. Put it back on.
I was gonna say, so Batman without his cape, even though there's tons of heroes that exist without capes, Batman without his cape looks very, very strange. You're right.
Do it. I don't know if it's just the build, his outfit, I don't know what it is.
A bat needs wings, and that's what a cape is.
That's true.
Wings. He's naked. I don't know what to call him other than Naked Batman.
And Alfred sees him.
Put your cape on, please.
Remember, Alfred saw him naked in the bathtub.
He saw everything.
He saw the whole thing.
I mean, he's undoubtedly seen him naked, but this time he was wearing a towel.
Alfred changed his diapers. It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can
he
see a
did.
grown 38-year-old man get into the shower because he changed his diapers.
He's seen
diapered your bottoms. You better wear all too, sir.
he's seen his little Batman, you know what I'm saying?
He'll still spank his bottom. He'll go into the shower with him and spank his bottom.
I gotta
What
see
does
that
this
movie.
show become? What did you say?
I gotta see that movie.
Okay. I like that Abrar
well,
didn't take the opportunity to be like, nothing. He doubled down. He was like, no. What is it?
He loves Batman that much.
I already said it. I gotta
We're
do it.
just pre-writing Abrar's Wattpad fan fiction.
Abrar
whoa,
learned
whoa,
what
whoa,
Yowie
whoa.
was the other day, so
It was a big day for him.
Wowie.
For those who don't know the term yaoi, check in our Brink episode.
Don't. Oh, yeah. You can do that. I thought you were going to recommend they look it up themselves.
don't
No,
look
no,
it up.
no, no.
Don't look it up.
Look it up. Batman survives and follows the Joker over the belt, only to find out that it leads to a vat of molten metal. He manages to grab hold of the hanging bucket, but Joker starts swinging cabled hooks at him. Batman grabs a hold of the hooks, and then Batman pulls a lever and causes the hook to drop. Fortunately, Batman manages to grab the hold of some of the gear and catches up with the Joker, but the Joker escapes down a slide and swings on a cable to reach a catwalk. Batman is not so fortunate and is almost dumped into a incinerator. Joker drops garbage down the chute, and Batman almost falls into the fire, but he manages to save himself with the grapple and confronts Joker. Joker throws a couple of his razor cards at him, but Batman dodges it the first and catches the second. Frightened, Joker tries to run and he trips on a cable, nearly falls into the fire, but the cable saves him.
So, have you guys ever known anybody in real life who they'll be in a situation with either like a difficult situation or with a difficult person that they really don't like, but they don't take the necessary steps to end that situation because they low key just like to complain? I think that's what Batman's doing here. I feel like if Batman truly wanted to, he could have caught Joker like 4 rooms ago.
Yeah.
But he just kind of like this particular day, Batman's just like, let's just see what Joker's got. I don't know what he's doing.
I mean, we see the little face he puts on after Joker gets hung up.
He does
he's just a little stinker,
like a I Love Lucy at the camera. He's like, "Oh, Joker."
Right. Absolutely sitcom ending. You're totally right. It's very sweet looking. I do love that bit. You wouldn't let me fry, would you? Batman's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me think.
He calls to Batman to save him, and then he's like, maybe I'll just let him fall. But in the end, Batman saves him. Of course, we get that iconic gif of Batman putting his hands on his face, saying, maybe. Things have finally quieted down, and Bruce returns home to find Alfred. This is the great part here. Cleaning up the mess he made. Alfred is upset over the destruction of the property, and Bruce tells him that he'll take out of his salary. Alfred is even more upset.
Alfred was heartbroken.
Yes. But don't worry, Bruce Wayne says, April Fools. That's the end of the episode.
He punches Alfred. Good episode. Good Joker episode.
Good episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
All right.
It was smart of them to start with the Joker laugh gas. Like that's a very iconic Joker thing from the movie as well, even. And now anytime that people start laughing a lot, we automatically know who it is. I mean, we knew who it was anyways, but
yeah. For kids who are watching the first time, they're like, "Who's this?" Yeah. That's a great introduction for them. All right, that was episode 4. Now we're in our last episode for this episode, but for this one, I do have a trivia at the end of this episode. So stay tuned for that.
At the end.
The end. Episode 5. Nothing to fear. I'll say this is my favorite episode out of all these 5. I'll say.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least 5.
I don't mean to like show my hand early, because I do like this episode, but your favorite of the 5. Okay.
Yeah. I because I think when it comes to the end, it's like a very iconic moment towards the end of this episode, and I think that's why it's the best.
Oh, the very end. No,
not the very end, but right before the end.
Okay, well, let's get to it. Let's hop on in.
All right, episode 5, Nothing to Fear. Gotham University charity book signing is in progress, and the guests talk about the string of robberies and vandalism that has been plaguing the university. Summer Gleason greets one of the university professors, Dr. Long, and asks to interview about the robberies as he makes him way out. The character of Summer Gleason was on the show of The Penguin. She's the reporter where she talked to Sophia Falcone.
Oh. At the end?
No, remember when the reporter was asking about what was happening with her family?
Earlier on in the show, yeah.
Oh, okay, right now.
Yeah,
I remember.
So that is the same character, Summer Gleason. So
Summer Gleason and Beataz last a little bit longer than she does in the Penguin show. That's for sure.
Yes. So I like that. The two entered the elevator, encountered our Bruce Wayne. Long tells Bruce that he attended the university with Thomas Wayne, who had big plans for his son. Bruce assures Long that his father would have been at least pleased that Wayne Enterprise has made great profits, but Dr. Long huffs in disagreement. He's like, "You son of a bitch." He believes that Bruce has disgraced the Wayne family name by acting nothing more than a rich playboy. Adding that it's fortunate that Thomas Wayne not lived to see what his son has become.
This guy didn't pull any punches. He just saw this rich asshole in an elevator and said, "I'm gonna ruin this dude's day."
This guy is evil. That's true.
Though Summers tries to assures Bruce that Dr. Long is only angry because of the troubles of the university, it's obvious that his words are troubling him. While looking out the elevator windows, Bruce notices a helicopter landing on the university bank and heads out. Meanwhile, 2 goons and a man dressed up as a scarecrow blast a hole in the ceiling and are confronted by the security guard. My same question here. Of course, we're getting new characters here. What are your thoughts on this version of the Scarecrow? I would say he looks
Oh, well, yeah. He gets a design change coming up.
Yeah.
This is not what he looks like. And I don't even just mean the new... I forgot he looked like this early on.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's not there yet.
The original design is... He looks horrible.
He's like a
good
Muppet. He's like a Muppet string bean man.
Yeah. He's like hermit.
This design is very strange. I get what they're going for, and there is part of me that kind of likes the idea because the way his mouth looks, it almost looks like no man could exist within that. And I kind of like the idea of it almost comes off as like a scarecrow has come to life, and now it's just sort of walking around, which is kind of scary. But he will go through a design change and then another design change much later on, and both those designs are better than this one. So It is very strange. At one point, he unmasks, and you're like, "That head does not fit in that." Head.
Yeah, there's
This
no
guy has
shot
a
that
nose.
fit in there.
He has a pumpkin head under there.
Yeah, this one almost feels like they were in the drawing room thinking, like, what if there was an evil version of Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz?
Yeah,
And that's kind of what it comes across, but it
The outfit is very much like that.
I've been sitting here this whole time while Abrar was reading the plot, being like, I need to talk about the Scarecrow. I need to talk about the Scarecrow. Like, I'm not a huge fan of it.
It's not good.
I really like the Scarecrow, like as a character, but this design,
right?
It does read as a Scarecrow, but I just don't feel like it doesn't have that like immediately iconic status that so many of the other designs of the show do. And to me, the head almost kind of looks like a balloon that someone just like stuck a head on top.
There's a point later on where he's like hanging his head and doesn't have a hat on, and it does look like like you said, a balloon or like a sock, or like it just looks like a bag of air. It doesn't really look like a head, which is funny. I like Scarecrow is a great Batman villain in general. I think he's 100%. Awesome.
Yes,
I do feel like he doesn't have a huge impact in the show in general. He has a few appearances here and there, and not a lot of them have a lot of meaning. There's a Scarecrow episode that everyone loves in the New Adventures that we'll get to someday, and there's one episode that is one of my personal favorites coming up. But in terms of this one, he does feel very villain of the week. We get his backstory and all that, but he does feel very stock in this one.
Unfortunately,
yeah, I know what you mean. If you didn't know Batman's like villains, and you were just a kid watching this for the first time, and if Scarecrow was in this and then never showed up again, you wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
but yeah, I was gonna say Scarecrow is a very versatile villain where he can be like a sniveling little dude running around making you throwing his fear toxin and being all tantrumy like in this episode, or he can be like Arkham Knight John Noble Scarecrow, like incredibly menacing.
Mastermind.
Yeah, exactly.
You could, or he could be like you could be Killian like Murphy. Not Cillian Murphy, but the guy who sings Maria.
Santana?
I'm thinking the Riddler. Excuse me.
All right, start the episode over. Start the episode over. Go back to the first. On Other Wings, let's go.
All right, on Other Wings, the bats. Excuse me. Yeah, Cillian Murphy would smack this Scarecrow upside his head.
His bag at the head.
But you know what's funny is I mentioned the John Noble Arkham Scarecrow. Yes. Like that was he also got the design change, right? From like the scrawnier running around Scarecrow. Like, so Scarecrow's got a history of design changes.
All right. Well, he's not scary this time. The Scarecrow sprays the guard with a gas, and he sees horror as he suddenly sees himself covered with. What did I say?
What did you say?
Excuse me. So the guard is sprayed with gas, and then he's in horror.
In horror. Okay.
In horror. He's not a. He's in horror as he suddenly sees himself covered with spiders. The goons watch in confusion as they see nothing. The Scarecrow explains that he caused the guard to see the worst fear, arachnophobia. One of the guards says, "Arachno what?" I like that line.
He's hiring idiots.
Yeah. They then head to the vault where the Scarecrow instructs his goon to take only the money he can carry, then burn the rest, as that's the primary goal of his revenge, not death. As Scarecrow pours gasoline, Batman arrives and quickly takes out the dog Nigel outside the vault, throwing him at the Scarecrow's feet. Batman asks, "Who are you?" Scarecrow says, "I am fear incarnate. I am the terror of Gotham. I am Scarecrow." Although it's a great line, but there's another line coming up, and that tops it.
Well, yeah, this kind of sets that up. You know,
Batman outdoes him.
He steals his gimmick.
Oh, he
what
did.
an asshole!
After the other goon, Anthony, jumps Batman. Scarecrow shoots Batman with a drugged dart. Scarecrow then sets fire to the gasoline, and he and his men escapes. Anthony,
I did a good job.
Yeah, well, why would you attack Batman?
Scarecrow pays well.
Is that guy's name Anthony?
His name's Anthony.
Okay.
Come on, Anthony.
Yeah, what's up?
Why?
Nothing. It's like I said, Scarecrow pays well. He's a former professor. That's great.
Yes, that's true.
I don't mind it. Getting work is hard in Gotham.
Health insurance, he gets that. Dental, full eye coverage.
Full eye coverage?
Full eye coverage.
All right.
You need LASIK? You got to work for Scarecrow.
Yeah.
No, he'll give you spooky LASIK. He'll give you scary LASIK.
He puts little spiders in my eyes. I have like a little. It's like a viewfinder, and that's what it looks like when I. So it's something.
That's not good.
Your vision will be perfect, but you'll also see your worst nightmare at all times. So
you pay the
you
price.
win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Oh well.
I'm an American in 2024. I already see my nightmare every day.
Batman managed to grab a scrape of Scarecrow's mask, but is weakened and somewhat disoriented by the effects of the gas. While he tries to escape, he hears a voice. And then he sees a vision of his father in the flames telling him that you're a disgrace in the family name. Cinema, I'll say.
Dad, what the hell?
Cinema.
Great scene. I love it.
Television.
Great cinema television here. The fire sprinkles come on, and the fire's gone. But Batman is still affected. The police arrive and question Batman about who attacked the bank. Harvey Bullock arrives and attempts to intimidate Batman to some answers. Commissioner Gordon arrives and demands to know what Bullock is doing. As Bullock tries to explain, what does Batman do? He disappears.
Oh, yeah, that's what he does.
He does that. Elsewhere, Scarecrow watches a newscast on Batman talking about the fire. As he rants, his goons wonder what Scarecrow has against the university. He explains that he used to be a professor of psychology. He specialized in fear at the university, where he developed the fear gas, which was originally to help to test his subjects to conquer their worst fears. Guys, what are your guys' fears or worst fear?
I'm not saying that on the internet.
Yeah, why would I say that?
All right. I'll say mine is...
Yeah, what's yours? Tell us yours.
Well, when I was a kid, mine was like heights. But after that, I think it's...
Bilbo.
Where is he? I took him out for a reason. He's not in my room. Oh! Don't say his name. Don't say his name. That's my fear. What about you, Daniel?
I don't know. I guess when I was a kid, I was kind of afraid of the dark, but that passed. So now it's just like a general looming dread.
Mm.
Daniel's fear is having another man named Daniel in the friend group.
You know what? I'll tell you a legitimate fear of mine, and I'm not playing this up because modern day politics. This is a genuine fear.
Sure.
Imagine, like, as an American, let's preface that, getting in some sort of accident. Oh no! Ow! Oh, I'm hurt. I'm injured. The ambulance pulls up. The ambulance pulls up, and they're like, "Come on, sir, let's get you in." Like, no, please, no, don't. Like, no, this way, sir. This way, we're gonna strap you with like $30,000 worth of debt. You're not allowed to say no. Get in. 100% no.
Yeah.
Leave me to die on the road.
That is a very reasonable fear. It is a world we live in where if you are hurt, you have to question, can I afford to live? Like that's
crazy.
That's real. Skyler's real. On this episode where a guy with a sock for a head sprays people and makes them see spiders. Skyler's out here speaking the truth.
Yeah.
And all you little Luigis out there, just saying.
There we go.
That's what I'm going to say.
Well, I guess they're more focused on banning TikTok.
The real danger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at this moment, it is officially banned. So for those who are listening, sorry. So they were talking about their. Oh yeah. What's his name? Scarecrow. That's his name. He was talking about his university days. He expelled the board members among Dr. Long after believed that he was taking his experiments too far and branded him as a lunatic. We see young Scarecrow looking like a little evil scientist.
Yeah, what are these experiments? He's talking about, like, they said I went too far on my fear experiments. Was he just trapping people in rooms with, like, bugs and rats and shit? Like,
That seems like it, yeah.
Well, no, were the bugs and rats real? I thought it was all the gas.
but that's what I thought too. But he's looking in and seeing them. It's not like he looks in and sees people, like, freaking out and dancing and then it cuts to their point of view. He's looking into these people and seeing the same thing.
So maybe he takes people with phobias and locks them in the room with what they're afraid of, and then he uses like the stress because they're in like little chambers, right?
Yeah.
Or cells, I guess. And is he somehow compounding the real fear into his toxin?
I think he's just watching it because he thinks it's funny.
That too. Well, there's the part where he's a snot-nosed little brat, and he's like, "Hey, little Becky, look at these snakes." And he starts waving snakes in her face. This kid was always a freak.
His giant pumpkin head.
Well, now maddened that his attentions backfire, Scarecrow has resolved to destroy the university entirely and show them that the new nature of horror. Meanwhile,
the new face of fear.
Meanwhile, a still weakened Bruce does a analysis on the Scarecrow mask. As he waits for the computer results, he struggles to fight the effects of the gas. He stares at a picture of his parents and trembles as he hears his father telling him, "You failed me. Well done." Another Lord of the Rings quote, for those who don't know. That's when you open the doors. I'm going off the
Elvish word for friend. We know.
Yeah, okay, thank you. A news report on another screen shows Summer reporting on the arson attempt and Batman's failure to catch the bad guys. Bruce hallucinates Summer saying how he failed repeatedly, multiple times. Alfred switches the TV off before the hallucination can get worse and inquires as to whether Bruce too. Alfred is asking if he's all right. When Alfred is told about his visions, he firmly assures Bruce that Thomas will be proud of him because he's also proud of him. Bruce always needs Alfred. That's why he's the GOAT.
100%.
Without him, there's no Bruce Wayne.
Absolutely not. Think about all not just, we'll hone in on Batman movies, but you could go across all Batman media. Look at everything Alfred does. He's fixing the cars, he's building the gadgets. In The Batman, he was like helping solve the riddles.
Yeah.
There's no Batman. He needs his support, and his support is Alfred.
Absolutely.
That's why he got his own spin-off show.
And then when Alfred gets old and dies, then guess what? Bruce just hobbles around in the cane with his dog, and he makes a young guy go do stuff.
Oh, we'll get into that next year.
Oh my god.
Strap in. I told you. He told me I'm not allowed to die.
Later at a Gotham University Museum benefit, the room is suddenly flooded with gas. And Scarecrow waltz in. As the guests go a little crazy, Scarecrow takes the donation money and then sprays Dr. Long with his fear toxin, taking him as prisoner. Dude, he makes no games. He is there for business. When Batman arrives, the crowd now sees him as a giant bat and attacks him in panic.
Dr. Long's just scared of skeletons. His own skeleton.
That's true. The fear of knowing what's inside.
Oh, I'm a skeleton.
When the crowd attacks Batman, it just reminds me of Batman Begins. When he was outside.
Mm-hmm.
Again, great scene. I know do do they take stuff from Batman the anime series in the movies? I feel like they
Do they mug him?
no, like take scenes or like takes ideas from the show.
Oh, does the movie take inspiration from the show? I thought you were asking the people attacking Batman. Did they take his stuff?
Oh no.
They pickpocket his utility belt. They started taking his batarangs.
Take his cape again. He's naked.
I think someone took his wallet.
Somebody took that guy's wallet.
No, but I feel like they do take some things here and there.
Sure, everyone. I mean, years and years and years of Batman media, comics and cartoons and movies and stories and television shows. It's all going to compound and inspire the next thing. Of course, it will.
Yeah, makes sense. Batman manages to escape the crowd, but the Scarecrow has already escaped into it's like a blimp. Do you call it a blimp or?
I would call this a blimp. Yes.
Okay, and flees.
Well, it's dirigible if you're nasty.
Yeah, I saw that word. I'm like, is that a right term? But I'll call it. You just
were scared to say it.
Yeah, I was scared. I was like, I don't like that word. The blimp and flees, trailing the gas hose that was pumping fear gas into the building's air conditioning ducts. As the hose free, Batman manages to grab it and tries to climb on it. Scarecrow believes that Batman has been killed, but Anthony,
what's up? All right,
points out. Yes. Anthony points at Batman holding onto the hose. Scarecrow sends him outside to get rid of Batman.
Wait a minute. Pause. So, Anthony, you fought Batman?
Oh, yeah.
How was he?
But at the beginning of this show, he said we could join the Justice League. What's up?
Batman forgives, Batman forgives and forgets.
Like Christ the Redeemer himself. Batman.
He forgave me. I ate his bread and his body and blood and wine. I drank all that in.
You drank his bat blood and ate his bat bread and
his bat milk. Yeah, I had all that. It was great. Listen, if that guy can have people like Jason Todd around and whatnot, I think I'm fine. So
you're there.
I fought Batman once. It's okay.
Okay.
Family fight, right? They fight sometimes.
Vin Diesel and The Rock fought.
Vin Diesel called out The Rock at Golden Globes. He's like, "Hey, Dwayne."
And the Rock's response to that was to cuss on the CW.
Oh my god!
Yes, he did many times. In the ensuing fight, bullets are fired into in the control cabin, starting a fire. Now out of control, the blimp crashes into a building, and Batman and Anthony troubles together. Oh, you guys are a little romantic.
Is the other goon named? Does the other guy have a name, or did they just name this one?
Yeah, the other guy name is Nigel.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about Nigel, okay? Him and I were done professionally, okay?
Wild thornberries.
Oh, good show. Batman managed to keep hold onto the blimp with a grapple gun, but Anthony plummets several stories, fortunately landing on a
bonsai tree or something.
Yeah.
This is another moment where, not unlike Batman blowing up the truck a couple episodes ago, he just threw him.
Yeah, this is what I was referring to earlier when Skyler was talking about that.
No, he didn't. He didn't throw him. He got gassed, and then he immediately tried to kill himself.
Scarecrow shoots him with the fear dart, and that drives the guy crazy. He sees the jail cell coming in on him, and yeah, Batman does not stop him from jumping out of the blimp. And thank God that bonsai tree or whatever was there. So maybe I'm okay.
Maybe Batman didn't forgive you. Maybe he just thought that guy's surely dead. And so this can't be the same guy.
There's no way. There's just no way that this is the same guy.
Well, here comes the iconic scene here. As Batman tries to climb up onto the blimp, his visions come out again. However, Batman masters his fear and declares that he is not a disgrace. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. The vision disappears and Batman swings onto the crash into the blimp cabin. again, I'm raising my hands up. Cinema, great scene.
Pretty iconic
Absolutely.
moment for definitely this incarnation of Batman. So iconic that it was Kevin Conroy's go-to quote.
Yeah, and I didn't know it was this early on to the series. This scene,
Yeah.
I thought it'd be later.
It was. Well, it wasn't. When Scarecrow gets in his little glider plane and just flies away,
Mhm.
I was like, this diva. Look at this guy.
Hey man, that's Scarecrow. Scarecrow tries to hit Batman with his drug darts again, but accidentally hits Nigel, who sees himself trapped by shrinking prison walls. Nigel panics and leaps out of the broken window.
Was that not Anthony? Didn't we just talk about that?
No, this is Nigel.
We confused the goons?
No, this is Nigel here.
I don't know. Anthony's right here, and he said it happened to him.
No, he fell on the tree. He fell on the tree.
No. All right, just get the Scarecrow flying away. Come on.
Yeah, so Nigel went through the window, landing safely onto another tree. Seeing that he's lost, Scarecrow escapes on a glider like a bitch, leaving Batman and
Like a
the rest
diva.
are alone.
Come on now.
Like a diva, I don't know. Bitch diva. Alone on the blimp. Batman manages to save Dr. Long before he crashes. With Dr. Long saved, Batman summons the Batmobile and checks to see the results of the mask and analysis. The computer reveals that the only 5 places manufacturers such as the chemicals, and Batman cross-referenced it to his former employees of the Gotham University. Only one place fits the bill: Crane Chemicals, owned and found by Jonathan Crane.
I remember thinking at this point in the episode, I was like, he just found out who Jonathan Crane is. How much is left? Oh, 2 minutes.
Yes.
Wrap it up.
Let's get this over.
Real quick. This is a great scene here.
Wags his little string bean head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really makes you question what's going on.
Scarecrow reaches his chemical plant and removes his mask. However, he discovers that his fear gas has been released onto the room, and he sees the Vision's giant bat attacking him. He then smacks into Batman and cringes away, quaking in fear despite recognizing the Dark Knight. As Batman reaches for him, Crane sees him as a giant bat-like demon, just like Batman Begins.
He looks like the guy from Fantasia.
Oh, Chernobog?
Sure.
From Night on Bald Mountain?
Uh-huh.
Don't say that. Like, I said it right. I said his name.
I couldn't tell you. I just know him. He's a big demon guy from Fantasia.
Okay.
Daniel doesn't know Disney stuff, okay?
He's a boss fight in Kingdom Hearts. Come on.
Daniel doesn't know Disney stuff.
Well, Abrar, you've been talking to me this whole time about how, like, do the movies and other things take from the show? Well, the little bat flying at him, fly from Batman Forever, right?
Yes, that is true.
I thought you were going to say it was just like the skull from Smart House.
Hey.
Oh, God.
Oh, that was pretty much the same. But you know,
clearly ripped off this.
But yeah, it's pretty much the same. What's your thoughts on this big bat like demon? It's pretty much like the Batman Begins, but it's more of a cartoonish version of it.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's pretty cool.
He's spooky.
It is very spooky. Back at the Gotham Police Department, or the GPD, Bullock tries to convince Gordon that Batman and Scarecrow are working together. Gordon points up and revealing an apprehended Crane dragging unconscious from a ceiling fan.
He bet his badge.
He did.
It was great. Great little bit of a Bullock Gordon bit. I loved it.
Good. Later, at the end of the episode, Bruce leaves roses at his parents' grave and silently walks away.
He's wearing sunglasses. He's wearing sunglasses at the grave like Rocky does in Rocky 4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty much the same. And that was the episode. Thumbs up, or thumbs down?
Yeah, well, thumbs up.
Yes.
I would still say,
Yeah.
but not unlike the Catwoman two-parter that we talked about, where it's just like I really like the Batman and Catwoman stuff, and then the Red Claw stuff I don't really care for. Ironically enough, the Scarecrow stuff in here is my least favorite part. But there's obviously the iconic part where Batman says, "I am Vengeance, I am the Night," but then all the stuff about him thinking about his parents, him going to the grave at the end.
Yeah.
That's the strength of this episode, I think.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite of the 5 we've watched so far, but it's probably number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very strong. It's a good sort of confirmation of what this Batman stands for. You sort of talked earlier about like, what if a kid watched the show and they literally know nothing about Batman, and this is their introduction. They learn what he fights for. They learn what drives him, and they go into it without having to go into it. We don't have to see the full thing play out in like a horrific way. We get enough of it, and we understand Bruce and what he's doing. So it's a good way to sort of use that within a story about fear and things. So
yeah,
I do like this episode. There is a Scarecrow episode. There's worse Scarecrow episodes, and there's a better Scarecrow episode. There is a Scarecrow episode that's one of my favorites, so we'll get to that when we do. But this is a fine enough outing for him. It gets the point across just enough.
Absolutely. All right, yeah, that was the last episode, and again, I do have a trivia for this episode.
Ooh.
All right, you guys ready?
Maybe.
Daniel, are you ready?
Always.
Anthony, are you ready?
Yep.
Name the other 4 places that manufacture Scarecrow's chemicals.
Oh, wait, so we have to answer the trivia?
Yes.
This whole time you've been I've got a fun trivia.
One of them is definitely Star Labs. I pointed that out while watching it. I don't know the others. Because I commented about how it's funny that, like, at one point, Star Labs, that was, like, everything everyone talked about in the 2010s, because it was, like, Flash Show and everything, and I was like, oh, it used to be so annoying. But I don't know the other 3. I recognize that one.
Well, we got one.
Axis Engineering.
Okay, that's good.
Well, okay. All right. Well, let Skyler play the rest of the game.
So
Biolaboratories.
Biolaboratory, okay. Wow, are you remembering those? That's good. Excellent. Okay, you got one more.
Mercurity Manufacturing.
Whoa, congrats, man. Skyler, you win the big bucket.
The big bucket.
I'm glad I could win. I'm glad I could win the big bucket. What's the big bucket?
Oh my god!
You'll find out next episode.
You didn't tell people that there was a big bucket.
No, I didn't. It was a surprise for everyone.
I'm glad that I remembered it all off the top of my head.
Fantastic. Well, guys, that was... Yes, you did. Well, Anthony also helped. So Anthony gets a small bucket.
Small bucket. I can't wait.
Fantastic. Well, guys, that was this episode 1 through 5. Next time you hear us, we'll be doing 6 through 10, of course. But let's wrap it up here, guys. Great series we're doing here. I'm glad we're doing this because, of course, we all love Batman, and this is one of the greatest shows of all time. Might as well do it, and I'm glad we're doing it. Anthony, where can they find you, man?
You can find me at Anthony Lantern on pretty much all social media platforms. You can also find me on YouTube, Anthony Reviews, where I do have tons of Batman-related stuff if you look for it. And I also have my own podcast called The Grud, which is available on places like Apple Podcasts and Spotify and things like that.
Fantastic. And how about you, Daniel?
You can find me on Twitter or Blue Sky at Daniel J. McG. Or you can follow me and Skyler's podcast, Ready, Set, Replay, on Spotify or YouTube.
Fantastic. And Skyler, I know we can see you there, but where else can we find you?
I finally have something to plug, and this guy takes it.
That's right.
You can follow me at Skyler8bit on Blue Sky. Don't bother Twitter; nothing happens there from me. But yeah, Ready, Set, Replay. We just launched that, and it is good. Watch it, listen to it. Great.
I think it's good.
I'd say I like it.
Give it a listen.
It's great. I'm glad you guys are doing it. Of course,
I'm glad Batman didn't kill you.
Oh, thank you.
Not you.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
me.
Anthony.
You didn't fight
Yes.
Abrar. You fought Anthony.
You're right. Well,
He invited us three to be in the Justice League. He didn't say anything about you.
That is true.
Oh my god.
Well,
All right, end the episode.
follow the Grund, follow Ready Set Replay, and follow this on Spotify you were listening to, and of course Apple Podcasts. I'm actually everywhere else except TikTok is banned. Other than that, how do I end this?
Probably by saying
Have a
goodbye.
beautiful time.
That's pretty
All
much
right.
it.
Goodbye.